Hey everyone, my name is Sienna Boyd and we are here in the Choose Health studio with Dr. Rome Walter. And today we will be talking about meditation. I know with the rise of mental health, especially in this season of being in isolation, mental health has been not the best. And so Dr. Rome is a huge proponent of meditation. And so I honestly don't know much about it. So
Sure.
first off, I'd love to hear what meditation is.
Sure. Meditation is, first of all, I'm not the meditation
Not the
expert.
guru.
I'm not a guru. I haven't gone to India. I haven't. I don't have a degree in meditation. But
Okay,
I am
duly noted.
But I am somebody who has embraced meditation, seen its benefits, and then studied it, and then offer it to my patients as a way to train their mind. So I see meditation as a practice which trains your mind. A
Okay.
well-trained mind is one that doesn't get too caught up about the past and doesn't get too worried about the future, and one that always tries to see things really the way they really are, but is also aware that we have flaws in how we see things,
Sure.
so we're imperfect. And
Definitely.
being uncomfortable with that state of change and not having a perfect knowledge of everything, that's the point of meditation, to be
Okay.
able to, to navigate that.
What led you to first look into meditation and discover that for yourself?
Yeah, well, I've always had some kind of introspective practice,
Okay.
but it was several years ago that I really found some patterns in my life that I felt were holding me back, were harming me, were keeping me
Okay.
from being my best self, my most authentic self.
Okay.
And during that time of reevaluation, I started to look into meditation. Some of the philosophies of some of the Eastern traditions fascinated me, and so I looked into them, and that's when I just started meditating. Started meditating through an app or some things that I learned online, and then I eventually went to a 10-day silent retreat where it was just meditating for 10 days straight, nothing else.
Wow.
And that's where I realized, one, how hard it could be, but also the power that it can give you.
What does meditating look like for you on a day-to-day? Say you wake up and you meditate. What does that look like?
Yeah. My personal practice is I start with just a basic 20-minute yoga practice, just to wake up, to energize my body and my mind, to center myself in my body, because that's where you want to be with a mindful life, a mindful practice, and certainly meditation.
Right.
Is right there in your body, right?
Okay.
Right here where everything is really happening,
Okay.
rather than the million different ways you can go in your mind, which
Right.
can be harmful. So most of the time, my meditations are only 12 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. When on the retreats, you're doing long meditations, like 10,
Right.
11 hours a day.
Right.
Obviously, it's not for most people. That's very limiting. And as I've read about just successful people, whether it be in business or leadership, lots of times they only do 10 minutes.
Right.
And I think that's something that people can get their mind around. Like, I can do that.
Right. So when you're meditating, you're sitting there, and are you looking to think about things that are specific, or are you looking to not think about anything at all, focusing on your breathing?
Yeah, well, one, there's a lot of different kinds of meditation and purposes
Okay.
and techniques, but the basic technique that most people use and teach is a simple focus technique where you just focus on the breathing.
Okay.
You focus on the breathing because you always have your breath with you, no
Right.
matter where you're at. We can meditate anywhere because we got to breathe everywhere.
Right.
Two, breathing is somewhat unique. People don't think about this, but you can control your breath, you can hold it, you can breathe fast, but you also don't need to think about breathing. You can go to sleep and you're not going to forget to breathe, right? So unlike your arm muscles where you're always in control of them, or your heart muscle where you really don't have any control. This is something in between.
Definitely.
And so there's something about that makes it one of the more ideal centers of focus for meditation.
Okay.
I will say it doesn't work for some people. Some people hate the breath. It makes them very anxious. That's fine. There's alternatives.
Definitely.
But it's a great place to start.
Wonderful. Do you have some recommendations of resources, maybe some online resources, or you had mentioned an app or apps that we can use?
Yeah, so, the best way to do something is to really seek out a real teacher of meditation who has experience and can be patient and help you. And more, these are available online.
Okay.
People who have sessions with you and take you through it. But I find for most people, they're able to use some of just the online apps, whether it be using their laptop or their phones. I know I've mentioned to people before, 10% from 10% Happier, they have a whole course and curriculum that really is gentle, really practical.
Okay.
You don't have to be good at meditating or particularly a believer of meditation or somebody who's like oriented towards mindfulness. You can be anybody and benefit.
So if I wanted to just start meditating tomorrow, I could download the 10% app?
Yes, 10%.
And it'll guide me as a beginner meditator?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also like Insight Timer as a tool.
Okay.
It's highly customizable for helping set a time for you. It tracks how many times you do it, how long you do it, and you can do it with sound or without. You can control the bells of starting and stopping. And so that's very helpful too. And then I also like the app from Sam Harris. It's like an awake app. He's a little cerebral, and so if you're really into the intellectual side of meditation, and then he has a great app just to help you start meditation, get the basics under your belt, and then he'll have a daily meditation to guide you. And so I like a lot of what he says about meditation so that you can understand why and how it makes sense in a very practical, scientific way.
Very cool.
Without having to have a lot of belief or spirituality with it.
Definitely.
Although it has its own spirituality.
They can go hand in
just
hand
because
if they
of
need
its
to.
nature. It tends to be about how we live.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much just for teaching us more about meditation. I didn't know anything about it, so I'm going to go download those apps.
Good.
Learn, practice my breathing.
You have to do it.
Definitely.
You have to do it and be patient. Don't expect it to take away all your anxiety or be a pleasant experience. Remember, this is some kind of training, and so you're going to, like training any muscle, there's a little bit of soreness, there's a little bit of pushing through it to get the benefits, but it does work.
That's encouraging. Yeah. Thank you. Well, Dr. Rome serves as one of our doctors at our Cal Oaks location. If you're interested in being a patient of his or seeing him as a doctor, you can always contact us. But aside from that, thank you so much just for being with us today and teaching us about meditation.
You're welcome.